I just have to take a quick walk around the house here. And I'm only taking this because I had a couple of videos that I recently saw about expats moving to the Philippines and people that have been deciding that the U.S. is not for them for whatever reason, and they think that they can find a better place to live. So just to give you a little background about me and my story is that, I got a lot of work to do. Yeah, we had a couple of disasters. So anyway, the thing is that we had a video that was put out about perspective, and I said, well, let me tell people what happened to me. Well, I was over in Vietnam recently, and I met this young kid from Seattle who was traveling, and he was an English teacher, ESL teacher here, doing his thing online, making about $18 to $20 an hour. Tax-free money, because he doesn't make that much money, but the way he was explaining it to me, he gets it direct deposit, etc. And I've done that ESL teaching over here throughout the years because, as you could tell, my older house here, I've been here for over, 22 years, living in the Philippines now, raising my family. And he had a concept of thinking, his way of thinking was, well, I'm 22 years old, I'm from Seattle, and we met on the beach just randomly, and he asked me a question about if he should buy any real estate overseas. And they do have an option in a lot of countries over here in Asia where you can buy a condo and you can actually get it in some kind of a way in different places. You can get it attached to your immigration so that you can have better immigration status and being a tourist. So there's ways to do that. And I said to him, I said, well, 22 years old and having myself over 25, 30 properties in my life, I could tell you that, yeah, go ahead and invest. I told him. I was just having, a beach conversation with him. But imagine a kid coming from Seattle where the rents are $1,500 to $2,000 for a one-bedroom apartment or something, crazy amounts. Anywhere in the U.S., you're paying that kind of money. And then people are paying $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 for a condominium in places like Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand, whatever Asian countries. I haven't done my full research, but you can. I just tell you what I've done. Like I said, I built this house 20-something years ago. I have a different, unique situation, personal, but I've been able to, at least by grace of God, raise my family here, and just middle-class subdivision, nothing special. We live comfortably and simple. That's what our setup is, and we've always meant to keep it simple. I didn't want to go do nothing extravagant, and I told the kid the same thing on the beach. I said, as long as you keep it simple, you buy one condo at 22, assess it after a couple of years, do your Airbnb, do your rentals while you're not using it, see if you can benefit that way. It's a good investment for anybody who doesn't want to pay rent, throw their money away in the U.S. on a month-to-month basis. It's crazy what they're paying. I don't understand it. These people working at McDonald's, I don't understand. I don't understand because I used to work at McDonald's. It was my first job in a real restaurant. I worked in Marriott hotels, and I've been in catering for years. And I found out that moving out of the U.S. Several times. I started out in 1980, but I actually moved out in 1997. And I haven't looked back in the sense of where I wanted to move back to the U.S. if I wanted to. I've had properties in 5 states maybe, and none of those places that I wanted to go back to and live because I own property. I actually sold everything. This is the only house I got left now. It's been, a blessing just to have a house. And again, when you do it years ago, depends on your age. I wouldn't wait. Myself, if I was a young ESL person, I got birds flying all over around me, which is nice. I got the kid saying, 22 years old, and he goes, yeah, after having a little conversation with you, I'm going back to Cambodia. and want to buy me a condo. And last year, one of my millionaire friends from Las Vegas decided he was going to go move there, and he bought a condo in Cambodia. So you can go from being a school teacher, teaching English online, making $18-20 an hour, to a millionaire. And you can be owning a condo, depends on what level you want to move into, but they're affordable. And that's the main thing. And you're getting the value for your money. I've always talked about common sense. My channel, that if I did do a channel, would be just about common sense. It just doesn't make any sense to throw your money away and not learn a program like AI that's going to generate you passive income. I don't know how to do that, but so many people are doing it. And with AI out there, that you can expedite things so fast. I see these YouTubers making videos, and I'm saying, like, all they're doing is doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. Is they're just giving a conversation, and they're only saying of what their opinion is, and that's fine. I got an opinion, but I got the receipts and everything. So if you want to hit me up and ask me some questions, how I've been able to raise a family, on what I spend and what I've been doing, it's not about that. Like I said, it's about the value and the quality of life that you want to give to yourself. So hit me up. Again, this is my new videos that's going to be about common sense issues. And this one is about, if you're young, you want to move to overseas, find yourself an online job, common sense. You could be from anywhere to do that. You could be at the hotel, you could be in your apartment, your condo, doesn't matter as long as you got Wi-Fi. The other thing is get you a job where it pays you enough to sustain yourself, which they do these days. Online jobs are readily available. I was doing English teaching, I remember, for $10, $11 an hour many years ago. But that was when the dollar was a little bit lower, I guess. So, but now they're making, again, $18-20 an hour, and people are living well. They're going from country to country, as a matter of fact. They're even hitting up different countries while they're teaching English, and that's something to look into. I don't know about AI. I'm just delving into a little bit of it myself, but I would say invest at an early age. Doesn't matter where. Common sense will tell you, if you got property, you got property. Overseas, you can buy condos. Over here in Asia, that's a sure thing. Land, definitely not in most countries. So there's opportunities everywhere, but why suffer? Like I said, I was both ends. I was the owner collecting rent. I paid my rents. I own. I have property that I got in cash. There's all kinds of different levels of real estate. So the stories that I want to say about common sense is, if you're paying that $1,500 a month, you're paying anywhere near that money, reassess your life, because you could live your whole life is less than $1,500 or $1,500 a month in some of these countries. Not just the rent, your whole lifestyle. Common sense says, what do you want to work for? And, what is your 2-year perspective out? What's it going to look like 2 years from where you are now? Is it going to be any better? Is it going to be in the same situation? Only you can make those changes. And like I said, just a little video of saying, get out if you're not happy, because that's what counts, is your happiness. All right, common sense.